We need to find this place or we'll be late.
Make a left on Astrology Avenue. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant right. It should be right here at 444 Spirit Way. Oh, turn!
It looks like Renee. Yay, we're on time.
The James and Kellee Show.
Great, let's start the show. A lot of times with my work, Kelly's work, whatever it's form that takes, we often get people that will complain, and they don't stop. And you can tell them 16,000 things or different ways of looking at something, and it's still in that complaint part. So with Kelly, I said we should do a show about that. So,
well, my mom used to say she would call them help rejecting complainers.
Right.
She had a real name for it. And
my mom was a psychotherapist, a psychologist.
My mom was a psychologist, and so she would say, well, you know, those patients or those people that you know, they're help rejecting. You might come up with an idea, you may come up with a way to do something or something positive, and then they just are constantly with the negative and complaining. And
we've all had them. We've all had them.
I mean, and kind of I just want to make note here. We're all in the same boat here. We're all in a COVID situation. So we're all in the same boat. And when I hear all the constant negativity about it and the constant negativity about life in general, it just gets to you after a while, doesn't it, James?
Well, yeah. And if that's the energy you're putting out to the universe, that's what you're going to get back. And no one likes to have a whiner. You're really they go on. I'm bored. I'm sorry. Life is too short. Let's move on.
Yeah.
I have very little patience. I mean, I have a lot of empathy. But if someone is doing that and they're just going on, I stop that right away. I say, I got to go. Sorry. And especially if I give them help and assistance and they don't hear it. They don't hear it because they don't want to hear it, and they go back to that pattern, that their old record. They keep on to the old tapes. Yeah. So, as a psychotherapist, Kellee, what do you think part of that is? The reason people complain?
I think that a couple of things. Number one, they may have had a parent, particularly a mother, that the only thing they heard, the only way they could be heard is through negativity. So the mother, often they're personality disorders, mothers that are personality disorders, they're constant complainers and negativity, and then they pick it up. It's like something it's a learned behavior.
It's a learned
behavior. And so, they just keep going at it. And the other thing is, perhaps it's the only way they can be heard.
That's what I was thinking. Attention.
It's attention, and they need to be heard. There are, and they want to be validated. So you might want to say, somebody they also misery loves company. Let's just
say very true. That's very, very true. You're right.
The old thing, I mean, again, if I use the idea that we're all in the same boat right now with COVID, we're all in the same boat. We all have things to think about and worry about, but we've got to find positive things during this time to change our brainwaves, because especially with this learned behavior, and people also seem to love drama. You notice that the negativity, it's a drama piece to it.
It all goes back to me. The feeling I sense from it is a detention thing, and it needs to be attention. And I think if you don't get attention, the ways that are acceptable in society, because you go to the extreme of pain, poor pitiful me, and
victim
consciousness, resentment, and look at me. And it's like I said, we're all in it together. And you said if they complain, they want company in that complaint, and it's so interesting. I think. Even though right now we're in a situation which is very, very difficult for all of us, I do think, Kellee, as you said, it's your perspective of how you handle it. It's true of anything besides COVID. It's lessons in life or things that were hand situations. How do you deal with that situation? Are you going to rise above it and learn from it, or are you going to make it go down?
Well, exactly. And it's this is really interesting. Why do people complain? And there's a significant gap here between an expectation and reality.
Oh, talk about that. I love that.
So, I mean, right? So if you have an expectation that things should be this way or they have to be this way, and then there's a big gap of how they really are, you're not looking at reality. And often that's where a negative mindset steps in. And also,
can I just interrupt, Kellee? By saying that, it also shows that I think a lot of people who stay in that complaint mode are control freaks, and because they have that expectation, they want to control that outcome. And they're not going to have the outcome. They freak out. They're control freaks, and you can't control people, can't control situations. It's how you deal with it. What are you going to do about it? It's not controlling other people. You can't control the people.
No, you just can't. And also, what happens is when you are negative, and when you are negative and complaining over and over again, what it really does is it pushes people away.
It does. It does. Because you're talking, number one, you're talking about yourself. And it also goes in within cells instead of going out and reaching other people. It's really concentrating on yourself and what
And
you don't have, you know?
and what tell me about the energy of that too, James, when
Oh,
somebody is so much negative energy and
well,
they're complaining, what does it make you feel energetically?
well, well, it's really weird because I'm just going to say this: the energy that I'm aware of maybe goes clockwise, right
Yeah,
around someone clockwise, and when I see a negative or a complainer, constant complainer, it starts going the other way, and I've noticed that several times where it just starts turning the other way. But then again, the whole auric field is messed up. I'll tell you, I've seen auric fields, the energy
right,
around them, envelopes of energy. Oh, it's not clean. It's not good. It's a negative type of thing. And remember, negativity is limiting. So that workspace energy will be very, very limiting. So the life
right,
of that person won't be expansive. It really won't if they keep on doing that. And we are here on this earth to look beyond what we see here, beyond. We have to reach for the skies. We have to reach out and experience everything new. Do something new. And really stop beating yourself up. Enough people out there will do it for you. Stop beating yourself up. And we're
right.
here to rise above it. And if you keep complaining, we're not going to rise above it. We're going to stay in that little
You're gonna
boat by
stay in the
ourselves.
same place. Well, Debbie Foster Haran says, "I have found many people that crave drama seem to have a very low self-esteem and use drama to gain attention. Any attention is better than no attention." That's very true. It often does stem from somebody with low self-esteem.
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt, I agree with that. And it's a way of getting attention, like I said, going back to the childhood. The
Mhm.
baby screams to get attention sometimes from mother and father. Screams, that's dramatic, and they'll pay
Yeah,
attention. So it comes from that as well. I'd also, I think, in some way, people feel that they deserve more. They have to have more. So they complain
yeah.
about it. I want why, and I've been around this. Why can't I have that? I once showed someone.
Oh,
I was living in Laguna once, and nice house, great, nice house. I'm showing someone. I do the garden, right? And this is a medium, believe it or not. We're doing a bed together, and we're walking around, and to the end of the thing, the other side of the house. People looks around and goes, "Why can't I have this? Why can I? Why do you have this?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" It's like just want to share with it. And to have that attitude of anyone, a lot of people go around. They want this, so they feel it's better than they deserve. You can't live that way. You just
oh
can't
my
live that
god.
way. You're telling the universe, you're complaining to the universe. It's almost like when I do readings, and when you do readings, when we work in the spirit world, I often tell people you have to open your mind. You can't have expectations because you'll block.
Right.
Negativity limits. It'll block
Oh,
that space. And it also blocks, Kelly, when there's negativity like that over and over again. You will block the energy, I always say, from coming in, new things in life. You won't see them, they'll
right,
go right by you. Even
right.
this goes down to an experience I've had people like, let's say, just for instance, parents whose child passed away. A drunk driver killed the boy, and the drunk driver lived. There's an actual event that happened once, and the parents can't forgive that person, right, that killed their
Mm,
son. And in a demonstration, the son said, "You have to." And several times it happened where the spirit would say, "You have to forgive. You got to stop the negativity because if you keep on living in that space of not forgiving, you're blocking positive things in your life to happen." Not
yes.
only in your life, but the next generation. If you keep it up, it'll affect the next generation, that energy. So
Mhm.
it's the sins of our father, that saying to the Bible. It's very, very true. So it's an ongoing. So we got to stop that.
Boy, is that the truth, James? Because
Yeah.
it's intergenerational. Then it just goes
It's
to the next generation
intergenerational.
and the next generation. So somebody has to stop the pattern. Somebody's
Right.
got to stop it. And so if this rings true to anybody that's out there that's listening about that, maybe you're recognizing that you have a negative pattern. And if you're listening to this, there are a lot of things that you can do about stopping a negative pattern. I mean, so let's just talk about this. I mean, do you see the glass as half empty? Are you one of these people, half empty?
Or
That's a
or
big
or or like I am and stuff, but I always see positivity. In the worst
right.
circumstances, there's gotta be a better thing. And you know what helps me, Kelly? It really helps that I have a sense of who I am, and I get to
Yeah.
laugh at myself because 'cause I'm a fool. I'm a great funny person. I'm my best audience, and I
Mm.
just laugh at myself all the time. You can't take it all so
Oh
seriously.
my
You
gosh.
right?
No.
You just can't.
Well,
And
people
it's
connect.
boring. No one wants to be around a complainer. No, boring, moving on, boring,
Next.
boring.
Right. That's so true.
Right?
Um, I mean, are people pointing out your negative levels? So,
That's
I mean,
something
if
too.
somebody is pointing it out to you, you might want to pay attention.
And
Are
what would they
people?
likely do? They'd probably say bye-bye and move on,
I was just going to say, then after that, they avoid you. People will avoid you. you know? Um, and are you focused more on the causes of problems than on the solutions?
That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, really, are you so you have a negative thought and you're thinking something negative. What can you do to stop that? Because that pattern, that negative energy is going to also affect your body, it's going to affect your mind, it's going to affect your soul, and it'll affect
Emotion.
everything around you.
Yeah, it's like hearing when a music and you hear a beautiful symphony, but then if you hear music and they completely just the chords messed up, they can't. It's not in harmony. It's disharmony. That's what it's like. And then you giving the message to your bodies of this instead of being balanced. It's like all of this phonetic energy, and
Oh,
what can you do
absolutely.
with that? What can you do with that? It also goes into the point, Kelly, that you and I have experienced many times with reading people messages,
Oh, yeah.
with demonstrations, of course. And you give it. Oh my gosh, you can give some incredible, detailed, evidential details. And the person on, well, can you give me his name? Okay, I don't know about this,
Oh,
but
no.
they close off just because they want to get one thing. I just come on, it's the
It's
bigger
so
picture.
interesting. But it's exhausting, but you're absolutely right
The bigger
because
picture.
here they're getting a gift. It's a gift.
That's right.
They're
But
getting
that,
some really powerful information that's a gift, and then somebody wants to focus on some negative thing, and it spirals, and then what it does for me as a medium, I just stop. I
yeah.
There's something about the energy that it just kind of blocks me.
Yeah, I'm the same way, very much so. And people don't realize that when you're communicating with the spirit world, we're trying to get lucky you get anything because they're in a higher dimension. Let's say they're in a sixth or seventh dimension, and they're trying to feed the medium information that they have to remember from the third dimension, and they have to come down and lower that vibration. It's such a dense. That's what it's
Right.
like. And if they get anything through, it should be a miracle. But people, the human, they don't realize. Oh, we're talking. They're in a seventh dimension, and like if they describe what colors there, we would understand them. So we're lucky if we get anything that they have a memory of their human condition. But that's it's just and life is
Well,
like that. I mean,
I was
really.
just gonna say, I mean, I always love to do readings for people that are upbeat and positive
Yeah.
and loving and kind and
And the results
easy.
are there. The results are there with that,
Results are
right?
there. It makes it so much easier for me, and
Yeah.
also I love to be around people like that, that are upbeat and kind
We
and
all do.
loving, and then afterwards, I walk away, I feel really good, and then for the next person, I feel good about the next person. So
Kelly,
it's an interesting thing.
I want to share with you. Yesterday, I went to the nursery, which that's rare, right? A nursery, and it's a small nursery where I live. And it's yeah, there's not a lot of things, but beautiful specimens of things, and like a neighborhood nursery. And I went there yesterday. It was windy, and got some plants. $18 here, $20 there. And I'm talking to this guy. And he said, "Help me." I'm noticing there before this man, and I'm at the cash register with this lady, and I turned to the guy and said, "You are great. You have fantastic energy." He must have been in his 40s. You have clean, pure energy. You're a nice guy. It's nice to be around your energy. And the cash lady at the cash register, her name was Renee, and she said, "Doesn't he?" And I said, "Oh, he does." I said, "You keep that, Mister." And we didn't know who I was or anything. I said, "Who is this guy?" But I said, it's good to see people, and I say at your age, but who really are pure and who don't take on.
Yes,
Yeah, and to see that, we all love being around positive people. We love
right,
that. It's like
right,
music to the ears. So,
right.
and he loved me saying, he said, "Thank you. I really appreciate that." People have said that to me, but I'm glad you said that. I thank you. There you go.
And it starts and then think how good he must have felt
Oh yeah, of
after
course.
that. I mean, he got acknowledged for a positive
Yeah, yeah,
as
and
opposed to a
nothing.
negative, you know? I mean, I think that's just amazing.
We want the
Wow.
world to be a better place. We got to start with self.
We have to start with self.
Yeah.
So, I got some tips here for,
Do you?
stop
Okay.
complaining. Yeah, so for everybody that can wait, Tracy says she was trained to rescue people. Help. Tracy Spain says that. Oh, I understand. I was too, Tracy. So run. Um,
You can only
here's
help
my
people so much, and you have to help people to help themselves. They can't take
yes.
advantage of you and walk all over you like a doormat, and they will. If you give an inch, they'll take a mile. I'm telling you, you got to set your boundaries. You have to.
Boundaries are huge. People are talking about that here. It's the trickle down effect. Exactly. Sarah Marie Haig says
Yeah.
that. It's very, very true. It is a trickle down effect. Um, okay, tips to stop complaining. All right. First, step back and look at the big picture, everybody. Catch yourself. Catch yourself. Stop yourself. Catch yourself. Because complaining is a habit.
Break the habit.
Break the habit. Set an intention. The intentions are powerful. I'm going to stop complaining. So set that intention.
Interruption.
Yeah,
Interruption. Sorry, I'm going to
that's
complain.
okay. I'm not going to
It just
complain.
it just came to me as you're saying that. So when you say stop, pause, have a word, have a keyword that
I love
a keyword comes into your head. What about a flower, love, whatever it is for anyone? Get a keyword that reminds you that I'm complaining. I got to stop it. So a keyword that might help. Just kidding.
That's a great one, great
Yeah.
one. Whatever the buzzword is that you use, could be James and Kelly. I mean,
There
it
you go.
okay, look within. Number 2, look within. Take your complaint, whatever you're saying, take it seriously. What was your complaint about? And then go within, okay? I mean, go within. Is it really worth that complaint? Can you do anything about it?
And
Ask
also,
yourself.
why? What is why? Why are you complaining? What is the reason behind that? Where does it stem
Yes,
from? Why are you complaining?
right,
It
exactly.
all stems from, you can't expect the other person to do something, expect them to do something. You got to do it yourself. And yeah, yeah. Why are you? What's the cause root to cause, if you will?
Exactly. Stop and take action at this point.
Ding, 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 ding.
Take
Real good
some
one.
action. Do something different. It's a muscle. You'll have to learn how to make this muscle strong about being positive.
Positive.
Um,
Yeah,
and then find the positives in the situation, whatever it is.
I
And
love
here,
that.
find the positives. But here's the big one: practice gratitude. Gratitude is everything. And with gratitude, did you know when you practice gratitude, your brain gets filled with dopamine? And dopamine is what makes us feel good.
It's true.
We love
Dancing,
dopamine.
singing, laughing, dopamine. Yeah, we love
Dopamine.
dopamine. True. True.
It's very true.
I,
And
I find, Kelly, back to your gratitude list. Every morning I create a gratitude list, but it's in my mind about 3 things.
okay,
But they got to be different every day. So I'll say, oh,
okay.
I love the sky the way it is, or I love the flowers, or I love that person's smile, the gratitude. It puts you in that mindset. It'll bring you into
Yes.
that mindset and affects your whole day and your whole life. It's true.
It's very true. I like that. So maybe daily think of
Daily
something
gratitude. You
different.
bet. You
Because,
bet.
you know, we're in this situation now, and all of us need to find some sort of positivity in every day. In every day, a simple thing. It could be looking at a flower. In my case, we're having a snowstorm, and I've had to make peace, frankly, with snow. I've had to make peace with it. I'm not complaining.
Unbelievable.
I'm just
Getting
admiring,
a
like,
new wardrobe, a Los Angeles girl, and
oh,
going to the middle of the Midwest. It's
let me tell you what
anything.
happened today. Don said, he was very sweet. Don said, look at the little bunny rabbit. And we had a bunny rabbit making tracks all the way
Oh,
around all the whole farm. I'd never, again, from LA, I would never saw anything like this. So that made my whole morning, actually. It made me
so
really
change your
happy.
perspective. Change your perspective. Tell everyone what Jordy, our good friend Jordy from
Okay.
Ohio,
Okay.
said to you when you told you to move to
Okay, so
Wisconsin.
imagine this one. I'm with at James on his 60th birthday. He had this great birthday party. It's fabulous. And Jordy's this old time friend, and she's wonderful. And she said to me, "Is it true you're moving to the Midwest?" I said, "Oh my God, I am. I mean, what do you think?" And I said, "What do you do during the winter?" I mean, because I was coming from a place, and she said, "It's where my soul renews itself."
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so every day I have her voice in my head. Ooh, today it's a big snowstorm. My soul is really renewing.
And she
Just
is someone in my life that I met that every time, even if it's a negative thing, whatever, she'll turn it positive. Wow, isn't that interesting? The universe put that in my place. Wow, that's interesting. And the other
yeah,
day, she called me up and said, wow, so we tell it like you and I telepathically
yeah,
connect. And I was thinking about Jordan Olson. She called me or texted me and she said, isn't this interesting? That we talked to each other. She goes, isn't this interesting? I was in a dark space. She knows it's a dark space. And she never complains. And she goes, and I went down to my office where I do all my magic things happen. And I looked at the floor, and your CD on forgiveness had fallen from inside a Tibetan bowl 2 shelves up on the floor. Not only did it fall down, but the folder was there, the envelope separated.
oh
And she
my
goes,
God.
isn't that amazing? I said, well, Jordy, that's who you are. I mean, you help with that energy for things to manifest because you're so positive.
Oh
And
my
she is. And I always say, WWJD, what would Jordy do? Because she's taught me about not complaining, that everyone has a purpose in your life. It's how you treat things, how you look at it. She taught me that. So I
And
lost
by
Jordy.
the way, she didn't have it easy. She lost her son.
But the sun, yeah, she's not been
So
easy at
she
all.
didn't have it easy. My goodness.
She finds
Um,
everything exciting. We went to a delicatessen. She ordered sandwiches, and my God, everybody would love George. She goes, I think today the lettuce is speaking to me. Maybe that turkey salad has extra. And then she goes, what kind of desserts do you have? And I said, she goes, oh, I eat my desserts before I get the food. That's what she said. Right.
And I mean, and didn't she also forget her luggage? Or no,
Okay, this is when I first met her. I mean, oh my God. I first went on a cruise. One of the first cruises I did, I don't know where we were, I think in Europe. And we're getting on the ship, and I'm with my partner Brian in front of me. And I just happened to turn around, and this lady with these beautiful green eyes and beautiful eyes, Pisces. And I said, "Oh, hello." She goes, "Hi." She goes, "I'm here for you." I said, "Oh, it's good. Good to have you." She goes, "Yeah, my clothes didn't make it, but that's okay. I wear the same thing every day." So I turned to Brian and said, "We're hanging out with this lady. She has a great attitude." And that's who she is. That's who
But
she
it
is.
was the attitude because she could have gone on a
Yeah.
banana peel. She could have gone
Like,
totally negative at that
like
moment.
most people, and
Oh,
she's been
how
the
many
one.
times have we
Yeah,
seen that happen on a
yeah,
ship? I mean,
yeah. Oh,
something new.
yeah.
It's so true. Oh my gosh. Well, one of the things that's really would be a great idea for everybody to do would be a complaint cleanse. A complaint cleanse. And it's again setting your intentions. So you're going to cleanse yourself. Do this for a week, everybody. If you feel you fall into the negative path here, start because negativity drains your energy and it
It
drains
does.
everybody around
It
you.
does. It
And it
pulls you down.
requires so much energy. If you think about it, how much energy you waste on negativity. It's amazing. And this has long-lasting effects on your mind, body, and soul, as we were saying here. So swear off complaining for a week. Do a cleanse on this. Set the intention that you're going to be positive Kellee and James for a week. And then it's a muscle and it starts to go through this. But monitor the thoughts when they come to your head. Monitor the thoughts. You get a negative thought, you're talking to somebody and you're about ready to go down that river of negativity. Stop yourself.
Mhm,
And then
mhm.
it'll really shock your friends, actually. It'll shock them, right? All of a
It's
sudden,
true.
something positive comes out of your mouth. Practice mindfulness. That means being very mindful of words, and everything. Words have meaning, words have energy, they have power.
They do. Yes, we're gonna do a show about that. We have to. Um,
Have to.
and there was a research science. I don't know the actual research that was done here, but I know it was a research study, and some scientists said one negative thought it takes like 20 positive things to eliminate the negative. The one negative thought, it'll take 20 positive thoughts or 20 positive things to create to eliminate that one negative.
Is that amazing, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's the kind of energy that a negative, that
It's like a
negative,
weed. It's like a weed. It's like it just grabs you. It just
right, right.
strangles you. It strangles your mind, and you get that spin. You spin out with it.
And nobody wants to be around it.
Now, look at the world right now. It's not a great time, but it's different. It's certainly different. We get to see everybody's eyes. We get to see the power behind some of that one. First, I went to a store that was wearing masks. Wow, and people can be climbing. I love these people's eyes. You can see their eyes more. You can't speak to them. I love the communication.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, I always make it a game. Always make it a game, a fun thing to do. Always, I always do every day. It works much better that way, I think. Because
You've
it's not an
always
easy
made that.
school.
But
The
you've
school is
always
always
done that. You've always made everything that way, positive, upbeat, let's have fun. I
why
used to
not?
say to my daughter, "We're gonna go have an adventure." I didn't care if we were going to Target. I didn't care what we were doing. We're gonna go have an adventure. Everything to me is an adventure.
Well, you said last year about this year coming up, or
Oh,
this the past last year. You said, "Oh,
yeah.
it doesn't look good astrologically." Oh, remember every time you talk was negative stuff about astrology.
I'm
Oh,
so
Kelly, I don't want to
sorry,
talk to you anymore.
everybody.
And one thing you said, no, it's an e-ride at Disneyland. Now most of us don't remember e-rides, but it was the e-ride, the scariest rides. And it's been an e-ride, the roller coaster. So when things happen, I'm like, oh, I don't go, oh, Kelly, we're in a curve. Oh, we're in a turn. Oh, no.
I
We
mean,
have to. We're gonna get out of it. All of us are gonna get out of it.
oh,
We
we
will.
are gonna get out of
But it's
this.
how you treat it along the way. It's what you do along the way
And
that
this
matters.
is the journey where
This is
our
the
souls
journey.
are going to learn the most. And
So
this, so
true.
use every moment as a learning for your soul. Your soul is growing and growing and growing. What did you learn? When you pass over and you're going through your life review, they're going to say, "Ooh, during COVID, what did you learn?" And you're going to say, "Well, I worked on my negativity." Yay! That's what they're going to say. And it's going to be a great thing.
Well, then they'll probably say, guys, you could have more in your life. You could have a lot more things if you just had the positiveness and give us something to work with because they work with positive energy to manifest it.
Yes.
Instead of that negative, which is blunt, flat, you can just, this is so funny. I'm sorry, I'm mixing my things up here because I've had these funny thoughts. My friend Roberta, I spoke to her on the phone today, Roberta, and
She's
she said, we
really
had a conversation, and when someone complains, she said, they'll be saying, oh, and my cat, this, and Roberta, I just go, flatline. She goes, I flatline. Like she doesn't hear it. She flatlines. It's so funny.
Oh my God. Oh, I love this. Debbie Foster Horan says, for every complaint, we should write down a positive, grateful affirmation and
Perfect.
collect them in an affirmation jar. Oh, I like that
Oh,
idea.
great. That is
Great
great, honey.
idea.
Should
I
do
like
something
that
with that. That's a
affirmation
good
jar.
teaching element. Yes.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. And Deb Keckley says, laugh, best medicine for what ails you. Yes, that is the truth.
I got to run in here. This is Jackie Mandinga. My husband is a Taurus. And me and Aries. Woohoo! He comes home every day with complaints almost every day. 30 years, and he looks at me and says, "What's wrong?" Oh, the way you look at life, maybe.
That's a tough one.
Tough one. What's not fulfilled in your life? Is it?
Yeah.
It all comes back to loving yourself. I don't care. It comes back to loving self, having a relationship with yourself. And if you don't have that kernel of that, everything's gonna be blown up, and it's gonna be someone else's fault and no responsibility, and it'll go in a downward
that's
spiral.
exactly true. And everything comes to know thyself also. Know thyself, love thyself, know thyself.
Their own self be true. My
And
grandmother, the first thing she said was, "Their own
yes,
self be true." Yeah.
yes. And if you do know and can understand that you are negative, now is the time to make a change because we're in a situation, not just with COVID, but astrologically, it's about making change, making great changes right now. So this is the time to set your intentions, to have a positive thinking for the next week, for the next month, for the next year, for this year.
Kellee, can I just ask you a quick question? What you think about this? It just came to me.
Mhm.
Are there people out there, which I'm sure there might be, there are people out there who actually complain they're into that whole thing, and they have no sense that they're doing it?
Oh, unconscious? Oh, yes.
It's unconscious. Let me talk about the unconscious. A lot
Let's
of them.
talk about that. Yes,
Yeah,
a
the
lot of
unconscious self.
well, let me just say this about that. Personality disorders. So if you have a parent or a friend or a husband or a spouse that is a personality disorder, they are unconscious about their behavior. And even though people may say, you're a little negative, they can't hear that. They can't hear anything. And no matter what, they're not going to make a change. So you might not want to waste your time. You could try, but they're going to sap all your energy if there's a
Yeah,
personality disorder. If there's
interesting.
not a personality disorder, then they can make a change.
Yeah. Gonna
Personality
make a
disorders are the
change.
toughest one with negativity, especially borderlines. They grab onto negative things. They thrive on negativity, and that makes it tough. That makes it very tough.
It's very true. Very, very true. Flip the negative into a positive. Yes, yes, yes. I love the rose. I love the rose thing that I've been having a lot of dreams. And the next day it happened. Okay. The nose thing. Okay. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We love hanging out with you, and really
Yeah.
thank you. And hope we'll see you all around the
See you
universe.
next week.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now and Beyond, featuring spiritual medium and master teacher James Van Praagh and spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
That was great. Maybe we changed some lives.
And maybe opened up some minds.
Which way do I turn?
Right. I mean left.